Okay, picture this. It's the middle of the night. The house is totally silent, the world is dark, and you are wide awake. Your mind is racing, and sleep feels like it's a million miles away. If you've ever found yourself just staring at the ceiling at 3 in the morning, you're not alone, not by a long shot. Today, we're diving into the mystery of that 3 a.m. wake-up call, and we're going to uncover a hidden battle that's happening inside your brain. A battle being waged by the very technology we use every single day.
Right, let's get straight into it. Why 3 a.m.? And why does it feel like this is happening to more and more of us? This isn't just some random annoyance. For a huge chunk of adults, this is a regular thing. And there's this growing sense that in our super-connected world, it's becoming way more common. So what is actually going on? Is it just stress? Did you eat something weird for dinner? Or is there something bigger at play here?
So first things first, let's just get one thing straight. Waking up during the night, it's completely 100% normal. In fact, most of us wake up anywhere from 2 to 6 times every single night. The thing is, most of these moments are so quick, we don't even remember them in the morning.
And that's the real kicker. See, the problem isn't the waking up part. It's that feeling of being stuck, Suddenly you're alert, maybe a little anxious, and you just can't drift back off. That right there, that's the pattern we need to unpack. And to do that, we have to look at your brain's internal clock. Every single night, your brain follows this ancient script, a rhythm that's been perfected over thousands and thousands of years. But our modern lives with all the pings and notifications and constant demands, well, they're starting to throw that whole script into chaos.
So, your sleep isn't just one big block of unconsciousness. It actually happens in these 90-minute cycles where you move between different stages. In the first half of the night, you get tons of that really deep restorative sleep. But after about 2 or 3 a.m., the whole structure of your sleep changes. You start spending way more time in the lighter REM sleep, which makes you much, much easier to wake up.
And while all that's happening, 2 really important hormones are doing this delicate dance inside you. You've got melatonin, the hormone of darkness, which basically tells your body, hey, it's time to sleep. And then you've got its opposite, cortisol, the get-up-and-go hormone that gets you ready for the day. Their timing is absolutely everything.
Now take a look at this. This is your body's natural alarm clock in action. Around midnight, your cortisol levels are at rock bottom. But then, see that? They start to slowly creep up between 2 and 4 a.m. Now this is supposed to be a gentle, natural process to ease you into morning. But, and this is a big but, if you're already stressed out, that gentle nudge can feel more like a sudden jolt, snapping you wide awake.
So what could possibly be powerful enough to disrupt this ancient biological rhythm? Well, the answer is probably in your hand right now.
Look, blue light itself isn't the bad guy here. During the day, it's actually fantastic. It keeps us alert, it boosts our mood, but after the sun goes down, it becomes this secret saboteur for our sleep, basically tricking our brains into thinking it's still daytime.
So here's how it works. You have these special cells in your eyes that are super sensitive to blue light. When they detect it, say from your phone or your tablet, they send a direct message to your brain's master clock. And that message is simple and powerful. Hey, stop making that sleepy hormone, melatonin. It's not nighttime yet.
And get this, the effect is absolutely staggering. One study found that just 2 hours of using a tablet before bed could suppress melatonin levels by a whopping 55%. This messes everything up. It delays your sleep, it shortens it, and it throws your whole internal clock out of whack. But blue light, that's only half the story. There's a much newer and honestly a much more subtle force at play. Because it's not just about light anymore. We're now dealing with something else, a psychological pull, a feedback loop that's been specifically engineered by artificial intelligence to keep our minds buzzing long after we've put our phones away.
We always hear about dopamine being the pleasure chemical, right? But neuroscientists will tell you it's really more about anticipation. It's the expectation chemical. Your brain releases it when you expect a result, especially when that result is uncertain. It's the chemical of what if. And let me tell you, modern AI has mastered the art of triggering it.
Just think about the last time you used an AI tool. You type in a prompt, and for that split second, you're just waiting, right? You're anticipating. Is the result going to be brilliant, useless, totally weird? That uncertainty is the key. When you get a great result, boom, it's a reward. And when you don't, well, you tweak it and you try again. This creates an incredibly powerful reinforcement loop.
And this is not like a vending machine, where you put your money in and you get the same can of soda every single time. AI works on what's called a variable reward schedule. Sometimes the result is amazing, sometimes it's not. And psychologically, that is way, way more addictive than a predictable outcome. It's the possibility that the next try might be the one that keeps you hooked.
And this is where it gets really interesting. This isn't some new trick. The mechanics are the exact same ones used in some of the most addictive video games out there. Loot boxes, gotcha games. It's a loop that is literally designed to fuel repetition, to keep our brains in this constant state of arousal and expectation.
So this constant cycle of prompting and waiting and repeating, it takes a serious toll. It's leading to this new, really modern kind of mental exhaustion that's leaving a lot of us feeling just completely fried.
In fact, people who are on the front lines of this tech shift, they've actually coined a term for it. They're calling it AI brain fry. It's this state of intense cognitive fatigue that's directly linked to heavy AI use.
And the symptoms are becoming really common. Does any of this sound familiar? That persistent mental fog, headaches, finding it harder to make decisions, or even just this bizarre feeling that your own thoughts are crowded and noisy. This is the sign of a brain that's been pushed way past its limits by endless new stimulation.
So what happens when this modern, overloaded, brain-fried mind gets jolted awake during its most vulnerable state at 3 in the morning? Well, it reverts to this primal, anxious state that some researchers have started calling caveman mode.
See, at 3 a.m., your prefrontal cortex, that's the logical, rational part of your brain. It's still pretty much asleep. But your amygdala, the ancient threat detection center, it is on high alert. This imbalance means your brain starts scanning for danger without any of its usual common sense, turning those minor worries from yesterday into these huge, catastrophic, middle-of-the-night panics.
This mashup of biological disruption and cognitive overload isn't just messing with our nights. It's a huge warning sign about the future of our minds.
As we start to hand over more and more of our thinking to AI, we risk something called cognitive atrophy. It's just like a muscle that you never use. Our own abilities for memory, critical thinking, problem solving, they could start to get weaker. The real long-term risk here is a loss of our own cognitive autonomy, where we become so dependent on these tools that our own ability to just think for ourselves starts to fade. So, the next time you find yourself staring at the ceiling at 3 a.m., just think about the forces at play. It's not just a bad night's sleep. It could be a sign of this deep, often invisible battle between our ancient biology and our very, very modern technology. So what do you think? Is your technology shaping your mind and your sleep in ways you haven't even begun to realize? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. And hey, if you want to understand more of the complex forces that are shaping our world, make sure you subscribe.